Alright guys, what is up? Today I'm going to be recording my 2023 first round mock draft predictions. So, yeah, let's get into this. By the way, we will be streaming the draft tomorrow, 7 p.m. Might go live at about 6:50, so be sure to tune in for that. But anyway, yeah, let's get into the video. Hold on, switch my screen. There we go. Alright, so number 1 overall, this is obvious. It's going to be Connor Bedard. If Connor Bedard doesn't go number 1 overall, I think everyone would be genuinely shocked. I mean, he's one of the best he's arguably the best player we've seen since Mcdavid. Easily the best player we've seen since Mcdavid, actually. So number 1, Connor Bedard. Now, moving on to number 2 in the draft, there are some rumors that Anaheim might not take him number 2, but I have them going with Adam Fantilli. Great playmaking. He's a big player, 6'2", 195. He's a goal scorer. He fits a need for Anaheim, which is just best available, basically. So I have them going Adam Fantilli, number 2 overall in the 2023 NHL Draft out of the University of Michigan. Now, moving on to number 3, I have the Columbus Blue Jackets going with Leo Carlsson. Leo Carlsson is a bigger playmaking power forward, 6'3". He's big, he's strong, he's a good two-way center. He's what you want in a 3rd overall draft pick, and he fits a massive center hole that the Columbus Blue Jackets need. Number 4, I have the San Jose Sharks going with Will Smith. Will Smith, 6', 178, out of the U.S. program. Good playmaking center. Fits a need. The Sharks need centers. They're going to draft Will Smith. I forgot the draft. Hold on. There we go. Next up, I have the Montreal Canadiens. Montreal Canadiens are interesting. They can go a lot of ways here. They could go really any way here. I have them drafting Ryan Leonard, though. Ryan Leonard, 5'11", 190, but still gritty and a good physical player. I think he'll fit perfectly on a line with Suzuki and Caulfield. He'll provide that grit that Slafkovsky doesn't look like he's going to be there for. So that's why I have him drafting Ryan Leonard at number 5. Anyway, on to number 6, I have the Arizona Coyotes selecting David Reinbacher. Now, David Reinbacher, where is he? Reinbacher, there we go. Reinbacher is a big physical two-way player, 6'2", 187, out of EHC Clayton in the National League. The Coyotes need defense. The Coyotes are going to take the best defenseman arguably available. That's David Reinbacher. Moving on to number 7, I have the Philadelphia Flyers drafting Zach Benson. Now, it pains me to have a guy named Zach going to the Flyers. I'm Zach. I don't want a Zach on the Flyers, but they're going to draft Zach Benson, 5'9", smaller player, goal scorer, playmaker. He'll fit in great there. Flyers need a little bit of goal scoring on their team. They'll draft Zach Benson out of the Winnipeg Ice in the WHL. Now, on to the Washington Capitals. He's fallen far enough. You know, they have to draft him. Matvei Michkov, the elite goal scorer out of Russia. He has a long contract, which is a downside, but Washington is just going to be starting to go into their rebuild now. That's why I think they're going to draft Matvei Michkov out of HK Sochi. Moving on to pick number 9, I have the Detroit Red Wings selecting Colby Barlow, left winger. He's a goal-scoring player. He's strong. He's 6', 195. That's why I think they're going to draft Colby Barlow. I think, knowing Steve Yzerman, they're going to draft for best available. I mean, they don't really have a particular need. That's why they're going to draft Colby Barlow. Moving on to pick 10, I have a little bit of a reach here. I have the St. Louis Blues drafting Gabriel Perreault, goal scorer out of the U.S. program, offensive-minded winger, 5'11", 165, could bulk up a little bit, but I think he'll be a perfect fit for the St. Louis Blues. Moving on to pick number 11, I have the Vancouver Canucks drafting Oliver Moore out of the U.S. program. By the way, this is a very heavy U.S. development draft. Figure Will Smith came from the program, Ryan Leonard. I think that's it, but still. 3 in the top 10 coming out of the U.S. No, 4 in the top 11 coming out of the U.S. program is absolutely amazing for the United States. Oliver Moore's basically just a playmaker. He's a two-way play-driving center. Good hands, playmaking, complete game. 5'11", 188, shooting left-handed out of the U.S. program. And they're going to draft Oliver Moore. Alright, moving on to pick number 12 now. I should probably scroll down, by the way. I have the Arizona Coyotes selecting Dalibor Dvorsky. He's a bigger center out of AEK and the Allsvenskan. He's just a big, strong, mature, skilled two-way center. Good hockey IQ and good hands. 6'1", 201. And yeah, he'll fit perfectly in us as a center slot in Arizona. Moving on to number 13, I have the Buffalo Sabres drafting Brandon Yeager. Yeager is 6 foot 166, could afford to get a little bigger. Dynamic offensive center, quick electric skater, lethal shot and release, strong two-way game. He's a goal scorer and he also plays two-way. I think that's perfect for the Buffalo Sabres, so that's why they will draft Brandon Yeager. Moving on to number 14 now, I have the Pittsburgh Penguins drafting Axel Sundin Pellikka out of, I'm going to butcher this so bad, sorry if you watch this, Andreas, but Skellefteå AIK in the SHL. Axel Sundin Pellikka is a elite skating, poised, puck-moving defenseman. He has good vision and creativity. He's an offensive right D-man, which is a need for the Penguins because they are lacking defense right now. 5'11", 176, needs to get a little bigger, but I think he will fit perfectly on the Pittsburgh Penguins. Moving on to pick 15 now, I have the Nashville Predators drafting Otto Stenberg out of Frölunda. Stenberg is a goal-scoring playmaker, two-way center with a great combination of speed and skill. He's a good shooter and a good passer, 5'11", 180, born in Sweden. And I think that the Predators are just going to draft him because they need a center. He's a good center. They will draft him. Alright, moving on to pick number 16, I have the Calgary Flames drafting Matthew Wood out of the University of Connecticut. Wood is a big, physical goal scorer and a power forward. He's big, which is something any team really wants. Just big players. Big players are good. He has a big frame, power winger, possesses an NHL caliber shot, good puck distribution, and has a downfall as he has sluggish feet. So Matthew Wood goes to the Calgary Flames. Moving on to pick 17, I have the Detroit Red Wings selecting Tom Willander. Now Tom Willander comes out of Rogel BK Junior 20 in the Junior 20 National. He has excellent skating, puck-moving defenseman, skilled hands, elite passer, terrific off-puck awareness. Will fit perfectly into the Yzer plan. Moving on to pick 18, I have the Winnipeg Jets selecting Samuel Honzek out of the Vancouver Giants WHL. 6'4", 186, very skinny for his height. He is a big physical playmaking power forward. And where is he? He's going to go to the Winnipeg Jets because with all of their players going out, I feel like they could use a big physical power forward on their team. Moving on to pick 19, I have the Chicago Blackhawks drafting Nate Danielson out of the Brandon Wheat Kings, two-way forward. Could fit in perfectly when John Toews leaves. Moving on to pick number 20, I have the Seattle Kraken drafting Mikhail Gulyev. Where's Gulyev? There he is. Out of Avangard Minsk. He's an offensive, pure rushing defenseman, elite skater with strong lateral agility and creative puck skills. Defense is one of the weaker spots for the Seattle Kraken. That is why they're going to take Mikhail Gulyev. Moving on to pick number 21, I have the Minnesota Wild drafting Callum Ritchie. Callum Ritchie is a 6'1", 187 center out of the Oshawa Generals in the OHL. He's a goal-scoring, playmaking power forward with he's big, he's complete, he has two-way power center abilities, plays with his head up, which is always good, less injuries, with quick hands and quick feet combination. That's why they're going to draft Callum Ritchie. That fits in perfectly, needing centers. A little bit of a lack of center depth in Minnesota. Could play with Kaprizov probably. So yeah. Moving on to pick 22, I have the Philadelphia Flyers selecting... Where is he? Oh, damn, he's far down in the rankings. Daniil Butt. Now, Daniil Butt is a 6'5", 203, just big left winger out of Loko Yaroslav in the NHL. Big goal-scoring power forward. Basically fits the Flyers mentality, big players, If you know the Flyers, they're a big team. They like their big players. They're going to draft a Daniil Butt. Moving on to pick 23, I have the New York Rangers selecting Charlie Stramel out of the University of Wisconsin. Stramel is a 6'3", 212 pound. If I can find him here, where is Stramel? This is all over the place, by the way. Charlie Stramel out of the University of Wisconsin, big physical two-way forward, power forward. And he plays the competitive game, physical, good center. Rangers lacking center depth, they could use him. So yeah, that's why they're going to draft Charlie Stramel out of the University of Wisconsin. Moving on to pick 24, I have the Nashville Predators drafting Quentin Musty out of the Sudbury Wolves. He's a bigger playmaking power forward, speedy, offensive-minded winger. Shot is quick, accurate, and hard, sneaks into open spaces. So left winger, they could use some wingers after just moving Johansson. So yeah, Quentin Musty will go to the Nashville Predators, but that is the best name in the draft, hands down. Moving on to pick now 25. Oh yeah, I forgot to pick. Moving on to pick 25, I have the St. Louis Blues drafting Dmitry Simashev. Simashev comes out of the Lokomotiv Yaroslav in the KHL. Where the fuck is Simashev? I need to find Simashev. Oh, that's why I'm up, because I'm only on left wingers. Left D. Simashev, there you go. You gotta go back to all positions. So Simashev is a bigger, physical two-way player. 6'4", 200 pounds. Big, strong, defensive-minded defender. He will fit perfectly in St. Louis. Moving on to pick number 26, I have the San Jose Sharks drafting Oliver Bonk out of the London Knights in the OHL. 6'2", 176. Creative two-way. He's an offensive, creative defenseman. Plays great two-way. He has high-risk playmaking and is a very confident player. I think that's going to be perfect if the Sharks do end up trading Erik Karlsson, and since they do trade Brent Burns, they will draft Oliver Bonk. Moving on to pick 27, I have the biggest faller so far, Edouard Soleil, going to the Colorado Avalanche. An ultra-skilled, fast, dual-threat offensive winger. Good shot, skilled hands, impressive playmaking. 6'2", 174 out of HC Kometa Bruno Czechia. He's a big and he's playmaker. That's what they need. They will draft him. Moving on to pick 28, I have the Toronto Maple Leafs drafting Andrew Crystal, left winger out of the Kelowna Rockets in the WHL. He's a goal-scoring playmaker. He is smaller. He's 5'9", but he's speedy, good hands, quick shot, and yeah, that's going to be a perfect fit in Toronto. They like their smaller players. They like their good shots. They like their great offense. They'll draft Andrew Crystal. Moving on to pick number 29, I have this guy is kind of all over the board depending on what ranking you look at. I have Gavin Brindley going to the St. Louis Blues. I like Gavin Brindley, smaller guy, 5'9", 165. Feel like he could follow in that Alex DeBrincat-esque kind of play. Small, great shot. He's fast. He's good speed with great hockey IQ. They will draft Gavin Brindley. Moving on to pick number 30, I have the Carolina Hurricanes drafting Theo Lindstein. Where is Lindstein? Out of Brynäs IF in the SHL. Lindstein is a fluid, speedy, composed two-way defenseman, good passer, possesses a great slap shot, 6', 180 offensive defenseman. Moving on to pick number 31, I have the Montreal Canadiens drafting Riley Hyde. I don't know how to pronounce that name, but Riley Hyde out of the Prince George Cougars. He's a dynamic, skating, high-end playmaker. Good puck skills, good vision, dangerous shot. He'll fit perfectly in Montreal as maybe a second-line center. And the last pick in the draft, I have the Vegas Golden Knights drafting center David Edstrom. He's a big physical two-way player, 6'2", 185, and I think that's going to be perfect for the Vegas build. Alright, so that is my full draft rankings. Yeah, I know I'm going to be way off. I know I'm going to get a lot of hate in the comments, but that's kind of whatever. You guys comment down below your mock draft predictions. And yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow at 7 p.m. for the NHL draft. Let's see how many picks I got right. I don't think I got a lot. My goal is maybe like 7 or 8. Maybe, let's go 10. Let's go a little confident here. I hope I got 10 picks right. Yeah. So I will see you guys tomorrow for the draft. Have a good night, or have a good day. I don't know what time I'm going to end up uploading this. But have a good day or night, depending on what time you're watching this. Don't forget to like, subscribe, press the notification bell, comment for the algorithm. And yeah, I will see you tomorrow. Bye.